Okay, here's the next part. I'm sorry this video is getting really long. And, okay, so, yeah, after I got my surgery, I was great, and then, let me see, I'm trying to find, yeah, so on the 12th of December, I got my staples removed. Oh, wait, not the 12th of December, sorry. I don't remember, it says I got my staples removed. It doesn't say the date. I got my staples removed. And I was nervous, freaking out, and my best girlfriend came with me, and it was really nice that she came with me because I wanted, like, an extra backup. I was screaming because I was freaking out because I thought it was going to hurt, and then I don't even know why, and then later on I said, it didn't hurt, and it was just the weirdest thing. I don't even know why I freaked out. Maybe it was just my chemo meds that were making me freak out like that. And then, what's another thing? And then I remember when we had my cisplatin, we stayed in there. We wanted to get it finished, and we didn't want to like leave the hospital and go back and do it. I remember let me think, I'm looking for the page. I'm sorry. I remember one time we didn't go to the back to the hospital for a while because I had finished my cisplatin. And then another thing I hated during chemo, I forgot to mention, yeah, I hated the cisplatin because it made me so sick, and I stayed like in the hospital for a couple days until I got the cisplatin. What was nice was after I finished the cisplatin, I didn't have to go back to the hospital. And one thing I hated during chemo is that during chemo I get so many nosebleeds. They would be bleeding like crazy. I'd have to have like my mom would like have me put like a warm rag on my nose. And have me tilt my head back. I got like probably 4 or 5 bloody noses in one day. And I felt bad waking my mom up so much during chemo, especially when I had to go to the bathroom so much because I needed her help, because when I was going through chemo I had a pole attached to me because my Broviac was, I had like a pole and like, what was it called? The cord thingies attached to me, whatever they're called, I don't remember. And because I needed help getting it, because I would just like pick up my cords and my mom would walk to the bathroom with me. And I always had to wake my dad up so much too because of that. And I remember he'd like wake up, so I'd have to wake him up so much, and he'd probably be sleeping until like probably he'd be, I don't know how long my parents would be sleeping. I remember like having them help me go to the bathroom by walking me, but most of the time I was doing it by myself. But half the time I do it by myself. And I remember going around walks in the hospital with them, and my dad would help me go with me. My mom would go with me, so I wouldn't pull my tubes out of my chest. Yes, and I felt bad waking her up so much when I went through chemo. I'm sorry, I had to laugh at this part. It was kind of funny. Hold on! So I remember one time I was waiting to go home. Okay, so I'm trying to think of an event. And there's sometimes I was forgetful during chemo. Like one time my mom was bringing me ice cream and I forgot, and I accidentally did my mouthwash, and what sucks was my mom brought me ice cream and and what sucks is I had already done my mouthwash too. Whoops. During chemo. And okay, so let me look at this. And then during chemo, they'd have like they give me like another medication called Nutrifos, and it was like a liquidy medication that I remember they had Nutrifos, and it was like a liquidy medication. Well, it was just a powder, and then they put it in like juice and water. I'd mostly just drink it in water. And then another medication I get. What's another medication I get? That I'd have to drink the Nutrifos in water a lot because it was just a powder. And then I remember one time I accidentally ate Apple Jacks right after I had it, and it didn't mix well, and I started throwing up like crazy. So sometimes I had to be a little bit more careful when I ate because like I'd forget, like I forgot I had my Nutrifos, and then I just like went and ate Apple Jacks, and then I was in the bathroom and I started bleh. And I remember like there's sometimes like my monitor thing would beep when I'd run out of my meds, and we had to like press the button for the nurses, and they'd like switch my bags. Sometimes some of them would come pretty quickly, and some of them wouldn't come pretty quickly, and I'd be beeping for a couple minutes, and I'd always be asking the nurses questions. I remember asking the nurses a ton of questions about like the chemotherapy, and I mean not the chemotherapy, the medicines they give me, and like what they do, and blah 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 blah, what the meds for. Well, when I was little, I wanted to become a doctor, and I realized I wouldn't be good in the medical field later on. Anyway, I'm sorry. Sorry, I'm just looking back. So yeah, there were days on the hospital. I remember had a whiteboard, and there were days we like keep track of like how much water I drink and how many walks I do. So most of the time I would do like more walks than drink more water, and then my mom and dad would have me like drink as much water as much walks as I. So I hope this makes sense. So my parents would have me drink as much water to be at the same level as my walks. And they would also drink different juice, but I mostly drink water. And I remember having like 5 bottles of water. They'd be labeled Monday through Tuesday, 1 through 5. 2 through 5, 3 through 5, 4 through 5, and 5 through 5, just so I could keep track of how much water I would drink. Then I would have apple juice, and I loved apple juice and Sunny D. I hated having my powdered phosphorus with the juices because it didn't taste that good. I just liked it with water. It tasted better. And then I remember my mom would always make jokes with the nurses in the hospital. Okay, so this is really funny. I'm going to make this really quick. I have plenty of time. So when I was going through chemo, even though I throw up a lot, and I remember my mom would bring phony vomit to the hospital. We don't know where the other we don't know where it is right now. Phony vomit to the hospital. And she'd play pranks on the nurses and try the cleanup crew to get them to clean up the phony vomit. It was so funny. They'd all be like, she threw up! And my mom's like, it's fake! And it was always just like really funny because she'd always like prank on the cleanup staff. It was so funny. Oh yeah, and another thing I forgot to mention is that when I went through chemo, my mom had a tutor come, and at first when I was going through chemo, my mom would have a tutor come and like do like schoolwork with me, but the thing is we had to stop doing the tutor because the tutor kept bringing in colds. So my mom decided to teach me. So we do like start with like one subject, and then we keep going until we finish that subject. It was really good. Like I remember first we'd start with health. I really liked the health one because health was really interesting to me because it told me so much about because I was interested in it because during my chemo, it just like was so interesting to me because especially when I learned about babies and stuff and pregnancy, even though I'm not pregnant. And then I learned a lot about the foods we eat after reading and stuff. Sometimes I'd eat junk food. I remember sometimes I'd eat junk food and sometimes I'd eat healthy. And it was just really interesting because I really liked the health. The health was my favorite subject. Okay, so this part's getting long, so I'm going to stop the video here. So thanks for watching. I'll see you in the next part, and hopefully it's the last part. Bye!